Hi everybody, just doing a quick video here today. It's going to be about organ donation. Now, I done a previous video about organ donation. If you want to watch it, just click into my videos and you'll find it. But this video today is good news that's coming out of America, and it's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He exposes the failures and he calls for reform in organ donation over in America. And this is fantastic what he's after exposing. It's the really dark side of organ donation that has really been hidden from the public. And you know, I don't know anyone else who's really come out so openly and publicly and spoke about this, and there has been a federal investigation into this, so this is absolutely fantastic. It's coming out, you can actually Google this if you want, on Lawfare. It was report done on July the 25th, 2025. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing down because it would just be too long and we'd be here for the night and that would just get so boring, right? So I'm just going to kind of simplify it down just a little bit here. So there was a federal investigation that was done by the Health Resources and Services Administration, which is the HRSA over in America, okay? Now, it focused on cases that were handled by Kentucky organ donor affiliates operating in Kentucky, Southwest Ohio and parts of West Virginia. So when you think about this now, what I'm going to read out, this just includes these small states, I suppose, in America. It's not the whole of America and all the states. So what you hear here that's going to be shocking, like if you were to say that this was the whole of America and all the states, it would probably be just so much more. There were 73 patients who showed neurological signs such as eye contact or head movement that should have been disqualified from organ donation, and they weren't, okay? So that's very worrying there. There was 28 patients may not have been fully deceased when they began to take the organs. Very, very disturbing as well there. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. called this practice, in his words, horrifying. So hospitals allowed organ extraction to proceed despite clear signs of life. Okay, so I mean, this is going on, and we have been talking about this, but you know, nobody wants to hear it, and they want to say, you know, people like us who are talking about it, we're just, you know, conspiracy theorists, and you know, we're making this up, and you know, we wish we were. Also, in the report, patients were wrongly declared brain dead. There was poor neurological assessments, inadequate coordination between medical teams, and questionable consent practices as well. That's another one as well. Particularly in the small and rural hospitals where oversight may be lax. So the small and rural hospitals, it just seemed to be a lot worse and to be happening a lot more often. And that's just an interesting one to note as well. But just to go on then, they talk about this case of this 33-year-old man who's called TJ Hoover. He was hospitalised in 2021 after a drug overdose. He was declared brain dead by medical staff. So TJ Hoover then was prepared for organ harvesting despite showing signs of consciousness such as stimuli reaction and eye contact, and a surgeon noticed reactions during the procedure and he halted it at the last moment. So this is shocking, like this case, a 33-year-old man, that if that surgeon, you know, hadn't made that decision, that poor man, like, basically would have been killed and his organs would have been taken. So that is just unbelievable, and that happened in Kentucky. Now, as well, we have they talk about, as like they go down through this. As I said, you can Google this up yourself now and read it. It is kind of long, so I just want to, you know, simplify it a bit. They go on about drug overdose cases as well, and they are the most vulnerable people. And you'll ask why? Because of I suppose there's an increased amount of deaths with people doing drugs and these drug overdoses, and usually it's in young people that are otherwise healthy, so they are prime candidates for organ donation because they know they're young, and if they are otherwise healthy, and you know, their organs would be, you know, prime. And also that overdose patients may appear deeply unconscious but still retain neurological activity. So they might seem like they're brain dead because they'll be so deeply unconscious, but in fact they won't be. So that's where the problems rise. They also talked a bit then as well about China and the black market there, with the organs, where they were using prisoners, like, and they were taking their organs off them. Just really horrific stuff happening over there in China. They didn't go too much into that, and I'm not going to too much into that because I'm going to keep the video short enough. I just want to talk about another few cases as well. There was also, you can look this up, it's the BBC, and it was posted on the 27th of June 2023, where a 21-year-old Nigerian was brought to the UK and he was promised work, but there was no such job. This was all make-believe. He was brought over to the UK to extract his kidney. So he was basically trafficked for organ donation. Now, there was also a write-up in the Irish Examiner on the 17th of December 2024 last year, where a new report finds that people have been trafficked into Ireland for removal of organs. So this is going on. Like, you know, people try to say it's not going on. Yes, it is going on. Now, there was another report. As I said, you can Google all these up yourself. Another report coming out from ABC News of a case in New York where they mentioned this lady. Now, when I looked at the report, they called her Caroline and then they called her Colleen. So I don't know what her real name is. It's either Caroline or Colleen. Burns is her second name. And she opened her eyes and looked up at the operating lights just before they were going to proceed to remove her organs. So this is happening a lot. Now, the thing we have to say is, as I say, this is fantastic news coming out of America, and well done and fair play to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Fantastic stuff. But like, this is just America. We have to look at, we'll say, throughout the world and Europe even. Like, there's nothing has been done here, and I don't know of anything been done in any European countries. Nobody really wants to touch this because there's huge money in organ donation, and it's a very dark, evil industry, and we have evil people in this world, and a lot of people need to get their heads out of the sand and stop thinking that the world is made up of, you know, white picket fences and fluffy clouds. You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of evil in this world, and people need to be aware of that. And the evil, it's everywhere, absolutely everywhere, from the top down. It's in our hospitals, it's in our education systems, it's in our justice systems, it's in our police forces. It's absolutely everywhere. And like, some of these hospitals, they are very corrupt, and like, we're not just talking about America now, we're just talking all over the world, and they have no problem like taking organs from people at the right price, even if that person is not clinically dead. You know, we're talking about morals here, and we're talking about ethics, and you know, there's a sizable amount of people, they don't have morals, they don't have ethics. If they can make money off your organs and get away with it, they will do it. And that's why I'm making the video. I just want to bring this to the public, make people more aware. You know, stop thinking that the world is, you know, this fairy tale. You know, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. There's an awful lot of evil in the world, and it has to be exposed. This is fantastic news, though, absolutely brilliant. But as I said, we have to look at the whole world, like Europe, Australia, South America. Like, we know what's going on in China with the black markets, with organ donation, but like, this is rife all over the world, and I'd love to see more countries now doing investigations into this, because we know what's happening in other countries, and I'm sure, 100% sure, it's happened here in Ireland, where organs have been taken from a patient that was not clinically dead, for sure, absolutely. It's just, it's all hidden and it's not spoken about, you know. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I just think that's a very good one, and it's a bit of good news to bring for a change, because it's normally doom and gloom, and you know, we get sick of all the doom and gloom. So what am I going to say to you? Like, subscribe, share. Yeah, make sure like, subscribe and share if you can, because it just helps with the algorithms, but it also helps as well with the censorship, because you know, if you're talking about certain subjects and you know it yourselves, like they just get pushed down, like, you know, they don't want it coming out to the public. That's just, you know, the nature of the beast at the moment. Just the censorship is through the roof, and it's everywhere. It's on all the platforms, Twitter, it's on all of them, Facebook, YouTube, the whole lot. So like, subscribe, share, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a lovely evening, and thank you. Goodbye.